Hello students, welcome back. So now I will show you how you can implement a simple RAG system. So I'll be using two phases, phase 1 and phase 2. In my phase 1, I'm going to populate my vector database, and my phase 2, the user will be asking questions, and based on the question, your large language model is going to respond. So my phase 1, in this phase, basically I take my files right here. This is my PDF file. I break into chunks, and then after that, I pass these chunks to the OpenAI model, and this is going to create embeddings. Embeddings are nothing but just vectors. It's going to create these vectors, and then these vectors are going to get stored in your vector database right here. I'll be using FAISS vector store right here. So this is my phase 1. In my phase 2, the user will ask question. The question will be coming from here. So let's say the question is, who founded Locksford Academy? This question is going to convert it into a vector. This is called question embedding, and I'll be using OpenAI tool again over here. Same tool that I used in over here, I'll be using exactly the same tool at this stage. So then the question is going to go to your vector database. It's going to perform semantic search. It's going to get some answers, and the answer is going to be your ranked results right there. Then I'm going to pass this result along with the question to your large language model. In this case, I'll be using OpenAI. It's going to give the question and also the context it received from the vector database to the large language model, and the large language model is going to generate the answer, and it's going to come the answer is going to go back to the user. So this is my general flow. So the first thing you want to do is get the OpenAI API key from their website. I already got the key. So let me show you. Just come over here. I think I showed you before how to get the API key. Just come over here and just click on create new key, and that's going to create a new key for you. Okay, so after you create your OpenAI key, then you want to install necessary packages. In my case, I actually use Python 3.12. This is the version I'm using. So if you want to run this thing, make sure you use the same version. Otherwise, you may or may not have some issues. I notice over the years, sometimes if you use a different version, sometimes it gives you some problem, not all the time. So, okay, I'm using Python 3.12, and after that, I installed these packages. I installed Streamlit, OpenAI, Fast CPU, PyPDF, NumPy, Python dot environment. This one is for creating your user interface. This is for your OpenAI. This is the one I'll be using to communicate with your OpenAI. So this will give me the API. And this is the one I'll be using to store my vector database. And PyPDF, this actually will allow me to read the PDF file that is my company database, or all the files related with my company. This is NumPy, so I'll be using NumPy over here too. This is responsible for loading your environment. So this way you don't have to expose your API key on your file. And the version is installed was these ones. These are the versions it installed as of when I ran this program. So if you want to install just this version and not any other version, you can manually install the above version using this command right here. So in this case, you just type Python -m pip install, and you specify the versions over here like this. So this is going to install these specific versions. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. Let's look at the next step. Now, in order to run this, I'm going to go to the directory that contains the app.py, and I'm going to run this command right here. So let me just come back over here. Let me show you the code. And this is my app.py right here. So in this case, when I run this program, it's gonna, let's see, let me show you. First, it's gonna ask you to upload the PDF file. Okay, let me increase the size of the screen so you can see, and collapse this. There you go. And make this thing a little bit smaller. All right. So first thing it's gonna do is gonna ask you to upload the PDF file. That's the first thing. And if your file is uploaded, then it's going to read the PDF file. Now this read function is defined over here in my RAG code. This is the one. There you go. So there's a Python file right here. In this Python file, I have defined the necessary function. There's a read PDF. So it's going to call the read PDF function. It's going to read all the text, and then it's going to break those text into chunks. And so that would be chunk. If you come down over here, you're going to see chunk text right here. So it's going to break into chunks. In other words, what's happening is this part right here. Oops, sorry. Come back over here. Yeah. So I'm actually reading this right here, and after that I'm breaking into chunks. This is the part I'm doing right now. Okay, it breaks into chunks, and then after that it's going to build an index. And okay, so index would be built, and then it's going to store in the data vector database. So this is the responsible for storing your into vector database when it says build index. So if you come over here, you're going to see a build index somewhere over here, a function that I defined. Come down over here, there you go, build index. This is responsible for taking your chunks and converting into embedding, and then it stores it. Okay, So in other words, I'm basically doing this step right here. Okay, after this, then I'm going to run the app. So when the app runs, it's gonna ask the user that ask a question. So based on the question that the user is asking, it's gonna respond. So let's go ahead and run this app first. So then I'll show you the flow. And okay, come back over here. So the command I'll be using to run this app is this right here. Uh, this one, python -m streamlit run this command app.py. Make sure you run this in the same directory that contains this file, otherwise this is not going to work. So come over here and there you go, hit enter. So this is the command I'm running. By the way, if I run this thing, this is not exactly in the same directory. So see, if I run this thing, it's going to give me an error. And there you go. You can see it gave me an error because I'm not running in the same directory. So now I'm going to go into that directory that contains my project, or that contains the app.py file. So this is the directory, and hit enter a few times. All right. Now, let me just move this guy over here up so you can see what I'm doing. All right. I hope it's visible now. So let's run this. Okay. So now I'm in the right directory, and this directory contains my app.py file. Let's run this. And there you go. It opens up your Streamlit application user interface, a simple PDF RAG chatbot. So this message is being displayed because of this piece of code right here, this line of code, simple PDF RAG chatbot. Okay, now it's asking me to upload the file. So let's go ahead and upload the file. So come back over here. I'm going to browse the file. And this is the file that I'll be uploading. Let's just come over here. Okay, let's just, where is the file? That would be this one, company, Locksmith company documents. Okay, now it's processing the file. So when I upload the file, now what it's doing is creating a vector database. And there you go, PDF processed and stored in vector database. So this piece of code just got executed right here. It First you saw the message processing PDF. It actually stored all this logic over here, is responsible for making sure that it gets stored in the vector database. And then at the end, you get this message, PDF processed and stored in vector database. All right, this is good. Now we start our chat. So question will come from the user, ask a question. And as soon as the question comes, it's going to perform the necessary steps over here. So let me show you, come back over here. Oops, not this one. All right. So the first question I'll be asking is, who is the current CTO of Lockswood Company? So let me show you the PDF document first so you can see what's inside the document. So come over here, and this is I just created this fake document right here. So it talks about this company, Lockswood Technologies, company overview, and this talks about something about the company. This is the CEO, this is the CTO, and these people, they change, so these things are dynamic information. And the company headquarter, and this stuff, I just made up some stuff about the company and just put this over there. So we're going to be asking series of questions related with this document right here. Okay, so you can see there are 3 pages over here. So I loaded this document. Now the questions I'll be asking would be something like this. Who, who is the current CTO of Lockswood Company? So let's go ahead and ask this question. So I'm just going to do copy and paste. Don't have to type this thing. So who is the current CTO of Lockswood Company? And come over here, paste it. And by the way, who is the current CTO of Lockswood? Let's find out first. So according to the document, the current CTO is Anika Lomax. Okay, let's see if it responds that. So enter, and it retrieved this context. So this is the context it retrieved from the vector database, and then it gave me the response from the LLM. The current CTO of Locksmith Technology is Anika Lomax. All right, this is good. Now this is something, I'm just printing this stuff out. So basically what's happening over here is that let me just show you the step. So if you remember, let me just remove all these things so you can a little bit more clarity. It's too many diagrams over here. All right, so what just happened is when the question came from the user, it went into your vector database, and your vector database, it retrieved some information regarding this question. So this came over here to your rank result. Now your large language model, it got the context from this vector database. Also, it got the question that came from the user. So question and the context came to the large language model. Now this context is this one right here, this part. So this context went to the large language model. Also, the question also went to the large language model, this one right here. So the large language model, your OpenAI, it received this and it received the question. So based on the question and based on what it received, that was this information, it answered this question right here. So the current CTO of Loxford Technology is Anika Lomax. So this is the flow of your of this particular RAG right here. So in this case, let me just show you the code. So in the code right here, if the question is asked, now if the index is not in ST session, that means the user has not uploaded this PDF file. So it's going to get a message, upload a PDF first. Now then I'm going to get the index. I'm also going to get the chunks. And then I'm going to print out this question, just display the question. And then right here, this is where the logic happens. So basically I'm going to retrieve first. So I'm going to retrieve based on the question, I'm going to based on the index and chunks, I'm going to retrieve the relevant information. So this function retrieve is defined in RAG core right here. So if you come over here, this is your retrieve right here. It's going to take the query from the user. It's going to take the index. It's going to take all the chunks, and it's going to return the top three results. So this is the code that's responsible for returning the result. Okay, coming back over here, so I get my result. Then I'm also printing out the retrieved context that I got from the vector DB. I don't have to print this part, by the way. This I can just comment it out. But I just want to show you the retrieved result you got from the vector database. So I print out this stuff on the user interface just to show you. And then I ask the question. Then I send the question and also the context that I received from the vector database. That is right here. So this is the context I received from the vector database. I print out the context and then I pass the context and also the question to your large language model. So I'm asking this question from the large language model. So let me show you the way the function I ask LLM is defined. Again, go to your RAG code. You're going to see this ask LLM question right here. So this is the question that goes to your large language model. So you give a question, you give the context. So you send this prompt. It's nothing, basically it's just a prompt. Answer using context below. Keep it short. Context, you give the context that you got it from the vector database, and the question, you supply your question, and then you send this to your OpenAI model, and it gives me the response right here. And then I return the message content. Okay, coming back over here, this is exactly what's happening. It grabs the answer that it got from the ask LLM, and then I print out the response from the LLM, and I write down the answer. So this is exactly what happened over here. Come back over here. Yeah. So the response from the LLM is the current CTO of Loxford Technology is Anika Lomax. Let's ask something else now. Let's ask another question. Let's see. I asked, tell me the range of industries it serves. So copy, come over here, paste it. Let's see how it does. And so this is the context it got. Okay, so it sent this context to the large language model. Okay, and then it also sent the question to the large language model, and the large language model gave me this response. Loxford Technology serves industries including healthcare, finance, retail, and e-commerce, manufacturing, and education. All right, let's go verify that. Come back over here. I think, yeah, it offers, okay, mission and statement. Oh, there you go. Range of industry, diverse range, including healthcare. Okay, Loxford Technology serves diverse range of industries. Okay, so it got it right then. All right, this is good. Okay, so I got this part right. Now let's go to the next one. Let's ask this question now. How many professionals it employs? So copy, come over here. How many professional it employs? Enter and wait for it. And there you go. Loxford Technology employs 850 professionals. Let's verify that. Come over here. Does it employ 850 professionals? Let's see. Yeah, there you go. 850 professionals. So the company employs over 850 professionals. All right, this is good. Let's go back. So in order to answer this question, it actually retrieved this context from the vector DB, and somewhere over here, vector DB, you're gonna see this information written somewhere over here. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. The company employs over 850 professionals. So, okay, that's great. So it got this information from the vector DB, that got the question, and it sent it to the large language model, and the large language model, based on what it read from here, it got this answer. This is good. Now let's change the wording now. Instead of saying how many professional, I want to say how many people are currently working here. Okay, I just want to change the language, and let's see how exactly it does. So how many people are currently working here? And the reason I'm doing this is because of this. You see, in this particular instance, the company employs over 850 professionals. So I'm not using these keywords. I'm not using the word employ. I'm not using the word professional. I'm using the different words over here. I'm using the word people and currently working. I want to see if it's able to still answer the question. And let's wait for it. And there you go. Still it's able to answer. Over 850 people or professionals are currently working at Loxford Technology. That's great. So even when you change the sentence a little bit, it's still able to answer correctly. So now, let's say I ask this question now. Tell me some of the new things that is happening in the company. Okay, and let's run this. So this is the response I got. Loxford Technology is focusing on innovation, continuous learning, encouraging employees to experiment with new technology. So I got this response right here. Now let's look at the actual stuff. So Loxford, okay, let's come down over here. Mission and statement is okay. Recent developments right here. So this is the recent development, and let's see if it recognizes this right here. So come over here, and so it's focusing on, okay, it has additionally partnered with several Fortune 500 companies to deploy large-scale AI solution. All right, so it got it right. So it got this thing right. But let's say if it does not, okay, let's say it does not get it right. So what do? You can actually improve this thing. So in this particular instance, I just showed you that it got everything right, but there is some improvement you can make in case if it doesn't get the right. So one time when I ran this thing, it was missing some context. There was some context missing somewhat. So what you can do, you can increase your chunk size. So this is one solution. You can use overlapping in your chunks. That's another solution. You can use semantic splitting of the chunks, or you can split your chunks into paragraph, like based on the paragraph or header. So these are some solutions you can employ. Okay, and so I hope this. Okay, let me show you anything else. I did not explain? And rag code. Okay, so just a quick overview of this code. So this is the one that's responsible for doing most of your stuff. So I'm loading my environment. I'm reading my environment key from my environment file. This is the env file right here. So let me show you. Make sure you put your uh, your API key, your open API key in your .env file. That would be this right here. Okay, so it reads that file. He gets the OpenAI key, and then I read the PDF. So this code is right here is responsible for reading your PDF file. This is responsible for taking your text, the text you got from the PDF file, and splitting into chunks. Okay, and in this case, I'm specifying my size. I'm saying that split your your PDF text into chunks of 300 size each, word sizes each. Then I'm creating into embeddings right here. So this is the code that's responsible for creating embedding. So coming back over here, right there, where is it? Right here. So this one I'm doing right there. Okay. So that creates an embedding, and then I build the vector database. So I'm giving the chunks, and the chunks gets converted into embedding vectors, and then it gets stored into your face vector FAISS vector database. That would be this step right here. This step. Okay, and then after that, I retrieve. So when the user asks a question, so the query comes from the user, and so I get the chunks, and these chunks basically come from the vector database, and then I'm going to perform some type of search. So it's going to do some type of search, and based on the query and the chunks, it's going to retrieve the answer. It's going to retrieve the relevant chunks from the vector database, and then I return that to the user. Sorry, to the large language model. That would be over here, this step right here. So this is my ranked result. It gives me the result from the vector database. So the result and the question goes to your large language model, to your OpenAI, and then OpenAI gives you the answer. The answer comes back to the user. Okay, so let's see. Anything else that's missing over here? Nope. I think that's pretty much done. And all right. So I hope this session helps. Thank you.